Hello friends, is Botany next episode. In this episode, we'll be discussing next part of anatomy of flowering plants, that is part 2. So we can enter into the topic. So for convenience, I will share the screen. It will be easy for you. I think screen came, so we can proceed. In this episode, anatomy of flowering plants 2, chapter number 6, mainly an introduction will be there. Then we'll be entering into permanent tissue, 2 types of permanent tissue, simple, complex. Then as usual, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. So when we enter into introduction part, so meristematic cells from their permanent tissue, that procedure is called differentiation. That is able to do the respective functions allotted. Permanent tissues are mainly classified into 2, simple permanent and complex permanent tissue. That is regarding introduction of the topic what we will be discussing today. Now we can proceed to the deeper side, permanent tissue. New cells formed from meristems will undergo differentiation and will be converted to permanent tissue. This procedure, that is from undifferentiated to differentiated cells. These converted cells will lose the power to divide and structurally and functionally become mature and able to do specific function allotted for it. Means they become permanent cells. I think that idea you got how the meristematic become permanent through differentiation, how it is able to do the function. Now comes classification of permanent tissue. Different types of classifications are available, most basically simple and complex permanent tissue. Now simple and complex, what it means? Simple permanent tissue means in this tissue only one type of cells are seen, only one type. The tissue functionally also similar. Basically, 3 types are there under simple permanent tissue: Parenchyma, Collenchyma, Sclerenchyma. While coming to other side, complex permanent tissue, in this tissue system or tissue, we can find more than one type of cells, more than one types, or more than one type of cells are present. Functions of the components may vary. Types are 2 complex permanent tissue, one is xylem, one is phloem. I think idea clear to all of you. Then we can proceed to next aspect. Now we have to expand this. So when we come to simple permanent tissue, first item is parenchyma. That is a Greek word origin. Para means beside. Enchyma or enchyma means tissue. It is the features of parenchyma we take most abundant tissue in plant kingdom. It is a living tissue. It is almost present in all plant organs. Cells will be almost uniform in size and shape. Shapes can be spherical, oval, round, polygonal, or elongated. Walls are thin. Wall is made up of cellulose. Parenchyma with the chloroplast is called Collenchyma. We can also find presence of intercellular space. See, in the diagram, we can find gaps here, white spot. They are intercellular spaces. Parenchyma with air space is called Aerenchyma. Functions include storage of food, photosynthesis, secretion, helps in floating also for aquatic plants. So parenchyma with air space is called Aerenchyma. Parenchyma cells are the foundation of a plant. Prosenchyma is considered as a type of thick-walled parenchyma. That is regarding parenchyma, hoping it is clear. Theoretical aspects. Now comes Collenchyma. Greek origin, colla means glue. Enchyma, one meaning is tissue. So Collenchyma is a living mechanical tissue. Living. Shows elastic nature. Shape is oval or spherical or polygonal. Often contains chloroplast. That is why a green coloration you can find some edges. So often contains chloroplast. In dicots, it usually occurs below epidermis. That part is called hypodermis, specifically in dicot stem. No intercellular space. Corners, in Collenchyma, corners have deposition of cellulose, pectin, and hemicellulose. A popular question. Gives mechanical strength. Collenchyma is absent in monocots. Functions include mechanical support for young and growing parts. It can also do photosynthesis because chloroplast is there. Hoping that it is clear. Now we can proceed to next permanent tissue, simple sclerenchyma. Term sclerenchyma came from Greek. Scleros means hard, and chyma means tissue. So what are the properties? Cells are usually dead. Sclerenchyma cells are dead. Parenchyma, collenchyma living. Collenchyma is mechanical living tissue. No protoplast in sclerenchyma. Protoplast will be lost along with maturation. Long narrow cell. Cell wall is thickened. Cell wall is having cellulose, also hemicellulose. It also have chemical called lignin for mechanical strength. Lignin is impermeable to water. In sclerenchyma walls, some or more pits can be seen, gaps can be seen. Now, sclerenchyma can be two types. One is called fiber and one is called sclerids. What are the criteria for differentiating sclerenchyma into two? It is based on variation in origin, development, form, and structure. Based on these four features, fiber and sclerids has been separated. Now, fiber. So from the term itself, we can guess it will be elongated. So fibers are elongated cells, pointed ends, usually with the oblique ends. See, this part is oblique. You can find here, oblique in nature. Oblique ends. So pointed and oblique. They have thick walls. Sometimes the cell wall is lignified, by which it will cause obliteration. Obliteration means reduced lumen. Obliteration of inner space. So obliteration of the inner space may be greatly reduced. Usually occurs in group or bundles. Fibers occurs in group or bundles. Functions provides mechanical strength. Now the other side, it is sclerids. It is also called sclerotic cells or stone cell. Shape will be, diagram you can find here. Shape will be oval or spherical or cylindrical. And due to highly thickened cell wall, lumen is again obliterated, reduced. Like fiber, obliteration is there. Sclerids also dead. So fiber is dead. Sclerids also dead. Obliteration is there. In many parts of plant body, they are present. Typical example is pulp of fruit. Different types of sclerids are there, like microsclerids, macrosclerids, osteosclerids, astrosclerids likewise. Function is mechanical strength. And when we consume certain fruits, like pear and guava, we can find some grittiness. And that grittiness or gritty nature of pear and guava is due to sclerids or sclerotic cells or stone cells. That is regarding simple permanent tissue. Now we have to proceed with the complex permanent tissue. See, these tissues contain more than one type of cell, more than one type of cell. Example, xylem and phloem. Since they are conducting water and food material, they're also called vascular tissue. Now, complex one by one we can proceed. First is xylem. Xylem is a complex tissue. Its main function is connected with the conduction of water and minerals from soil to roots to the tip of the plant. So soil to the root, to the stem, and to the tip. They can also provide mechanical strength. I think up to that it is clear. We can proceed to next page. Yes. So when we say xylem, that is a complex tissue. Reason is four components will be there in xylem: vessel, trachea, fibers, parenchyma. Xylem can be another way. Two types will be there: primary xylem, secondary xylem. Primary xylem is initially present in the plant, while secondary xylem formed in later part of life. That is why secondary. Primary xylem again can be two types. One is protoxylem, one is metaxylem. Protoxylem means first formed xylem, vessels with a less diameter. While metaxylem, it is more mature form later than protoxylem, vessels with a more diameter. And based on the relative position of protoxylem and metaxylem, two types of arrangement are there. That is an important item for theory and practical. Even though this way we are not observing in NCERT, the tissue system they start, sections it can be observed. So two types of arrangement are there concerned with the protoxylem, metaxylem. One is called endark, other is called exarch. Endark means this is the large one, metaxylem, that is towards the periphery of the organ. While protoxylem, small one, that is first formed towards center. And this arrangement is called centrifugal type. Example is stem. This is how we will be identifying stem or root basically in sections. Now exarch, just opposite. first formed protoxylem towards periphery of the organ. Here just antagonistic. And metaxylem towards center. And that is called centripetal type or seen in root. So endarch, exarch, centrifugal, centripetal, stem, root. Hoping that it is clear, it's an important item. Now we have to proceed with the components of xylem. So when we proceed with the components of xylem, 4 components, vessel, trachea, fibers, parenchyma, one by one. Xylem vessel. Vessel has got another name that is called trachea. Vessels are practically unique to angiosperm. It is generally absent in pteridophyte and gymnosperm, but there are some exceptions where angiosperm without vessel. That includes trocodendron, tetrasendron, Sarcandra glabra, Winteraceae. These are angiosperms, but no vessel. Counter also there. There are certain gymnosperm with vessel, which include Ephedra, Neetum, Welwitschia, most advanced gymnosperm. Some scientists say very rarely certain pteridophyte may have vessel-like structure. I think that page is clear. Now we can continue with the vessel in the next page with the diagram, etc. Structure. It is long cylindrical with a tube-like appearance. From the diagram we can find here. Tube-like appearance. Interestingly, it is made up of more than one cell. So vessel is actually an assembly of cells, more than one cell. These individual cells are called vessel members or even vessel elements. So when we compare with the trachea, our next item, in trachea, an individual long cell. One trachea means an individual long cell, that's all. But vessel is formed by more than one cell. A vessel is formed of a long tube-like arrangement with many cells, and their cross walls will be dissolved. Otherwise, conduction will not be possible. Vessels are dead. They have lignified walls. Central cavity is large. That helps in easy conduction of water. No protoplasm. End walls are oblique. You can find in the diagram it is obliquely placed. See, oblique in nature, and there will be perforation plate. Functions mainly include conduction of water and minerals, provide mechanical support. That is xylem vessel. Now, xylem trachea, this one. Tracheids are elongated and both ends are pointed. It appears like a tube. But comparing with the vessel, each tube is a cell. Each tube is a cell. In xylem vessel, many cells will be there. See, tracheid, each tube is a cell. I think that idea I got. Vessel is having many cells, while tracheid, each tracheid is a cell. Each tracheid that looks like a tube is a cell. Difference I think you got. Vessel have many cells, while tracheid has got single cell. They have lignified walls. That tracheids have many types of thickening on inner layers of cell wall. Chemically seems to be lignin. Purpose is to give strength. Through the lumen of tracheids, transport of water and minerals can take place. Tracheids are seen in vascular plants, function, conduction, and mechanical support. Now comes next area, third one, xylem fibers. So figure is given here. From the name itself, we can guess it is Sclerenchymatous, dead component. Both ends are pointed. Lignin present on the wall, lumen is reduced, fibers can be septate. That is why here you can find crossword. But here it is absence of septate or aseptate. Function is mainly mechanical support. Now the last comment of xylem parenchyma. Here the cells are living. Cell will be thin wall. Since living, there will be a prominent nucleus and then cytoplasm. Main function is storage of food material, parenchyma. And which all chemicals predominantly they store. Starch is there, fat is there, tannin is there, all contains letter T. So that way you can make a mnemonics. Starch, fat, tannins. Helps in radial conduction also in conduction with secondary thickening. By parenchyma. Now, conduction through xylem is unidirectional, often called ascent of sap from bottom to upper side, from soil to plant tips. Only living component of xylem is xylem parenchyma. Fiber is dead, sieve tube is dead, that is fiber is dead, then xylem parenchyma living, vessel is dead, tracheid also dead. So in xylem, vessel, tracheid, fibers, parenchyma, sieve tube is in phloem. So in xylem, vessel, tracheid, fibers, parenchyma, of which parenchyma only living, xylem vessel dead, tracheid dead, fiber dead. I think that part is clear. Now we can proceed to phloem. So when we proceed with the phloem, generally phloem is supposed to be living. Even the one comment is that generally speaking, phloem is supposed to be living. Conduction through phloem is called translocation. Conduction is bidirectional minimum, can be even multidirectional. But in xylem, it is always unidirectional. Here, minimum bi can be multi. Conduction takes place in the form of sucrose. Now comes classification. Different manner we can classify phloem, like xylem. Primary phloem, secondary phloem. In primary phloem, again, two division, protophlloem, metaphlloem like protoxylem, metaxylem. Now comes components of phloem. In phloem, four components are there. Sieve tube elements, companion cell, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. So first is sieve tube elements. The term sieve means a net-like arrangement. So the name sieve tube element is due to involvement of many individual members, just like xylem vessel. Vessel has got many cells. Trachea only single cell structure or single structure. Vessel is many cell structure. It is long and tube-like in appearance. Lengthwise arranged, sieve tube, lengthwise arranged, diagram is here. Lengthwise arranged, they are thin wall. It is living, cell wall is cellulosic, but the wall in comparison with surrounding parenchyma cell is more thick. A mature sieve tube lacks a nucleus. Sieve tube end walls are called sieve plate. So this is sieve tube element you can find. And here you can find sieve plate diagram, a little bit dark still, NCERT diagram only. But present NCERT, I think this diagram is not there. So sieve tube end walls are called sieve plate. Plate-like structure will be there, which is oblique in nature. On this sieve plate, pores can be seen for passage. It is called sieve pores. In gymnosperm, sieve tube is not seen. Instead of it, a structure called sieve cell associated with the sieve tube. So sieve tube not there in gymnosperm. It is sieve cells. Now associated with the sieve tube, I think up to that it is clear. Gymnosperm, no sieve tube is seen. Instead of it is sieve cell. Now associated with the sieve tube in angiosperm, structure is called companion cell. So no sieve tube in gymnosperm, it is sieve cell. In angiosperm, it is sieve tube. Attached with it is companion cell. Angiosperm. Now we can continue with the sieve tube. Sieve tube at maturity lack a nucleus, so that function is also done by companion cell, nuclear function. Sieve tube and companion cells have a common mother cell in origin. That is why they are often called sisters. And one more specificity is the number of companion cell or cells for a sieve tube. It is constant for a species, just like our chromosome number. In gymnosperm and pteridophyte, no sieve tubes can be seen. Function mainly food conduction, translocation, etc. for sieve tube. Now comes next component is called companion cell. Name indicate it is closest to sieve tubes. It is basically parenchyma, long, narrow, thin wall. You can find here companion cell, this one. Companion cell. This is sieve tube. Here two companion cell, here also two companion. So there will be specificity for sieve tube and companion cell ratio. So it is basically parenchyma cell, long, narrow, thin wall. Diagram, you can observe it. Connector attached with the sieve tubes bilaterally. The common wall is thin and there are certain structures called pit fields. It provides passage between sieve tube and companion cell. Companion cell have nucleus that is acting as the nucleus for sieve tube also. One of the major functions of companion cell is to maintain pressure gradient in sieve tubes. So they're very close working. In gymnosperm, companion cells are called albuminous cell associated with the sieve cell. So angiosperm, sieve tube. Gymnosperm, sieve cell. Angiosperm, companion cell. Gymnosperm, it is albuminous cell. Now phloem protein or P protein connected with the healing of the wounds, it is connected with the sieve tube. Now comes phloem parenchyma. It is living, parenchymatous, cylindrical and elongated cell, abundant plasmodesmata. They can store food like chemicals like resin, latex, mucilage, etc. helps in conduction of food. Phloem parenchyma is absent in most of the monocot. It is present in primary and secondary stage. Phloem parenchyma. Function is food storage and photosynthesis. Now the last component, that is phloem fibers. So it is dead. Secondary phloem fibers are called bast fibers. It is sclerenchymatous in nature, elongated, fiber-like ends are pointed. Diagram is given here. Then strength. So main function is providing strength, usually absent in primary stage or primary phloem. Can be seen only in secondary stage. Function I told you, provide mechanical strength. Typical example for phloem fibers, the economic aspects of jute, flax, hemp. Useful part is phloem fibers. Secondary phloem fibers are always called bast fibers. And phloem fiber is only dead component of the phloem. Other three are living. Xylem, 3 are dead, only parenchyma is living. Now, as usual, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. So, what all content or main item we studied in this episode? That is plant anatomy. Second, mainly dealing with the permanent tissue, simple complex question. So, first we studied what is differentiation, what is the purpose, then permanent tissue, what is the aim, classification of permanent tissue, simple permanent, complex permanent, under which parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem. Now, each one we took. Typical example, parenchyma. What that name, how it came, meaning, then characters. After that, their functions. Then came collenchyma, again meaning, then what are the features, angles thickened, then functions of it. Then we proceeded to sclerenchyma. Again, the word meaning sclerenchyma, how it came, features, and it is dead. Then 2 types, fibers and sclerids, or sclerotic cell or stone cell, where it can be seen. Then complex permanent tissue, that is xylem. Why it is complex, what are the components, vessel trachate fibers, parenchyma, how they do, then centrifugal, centripetal, endarch, exarch, then xylem vessel, again features, exception. After that, trachetes, what are the features, then fibers, parenchyma, as usual, fibers, parenchyma. Then we entered into phloem, that is translocation and classification. Components are there, sieve tube, companion cell, phloem fibers, parenchyma, gymnosperm sieve cells, and albuminous cell. And what are their function? Which form food is conducted? Then phloem parenchyma. It is absent in most of the monocot. Then phloem fibers or bast fibers. After that, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. Hoping that it is clear to all of you. If you like this episode, subscribe or like it, share it, comment on it. We can meet later. Thank you. Take care. Bye.